Studying and learning Ayurveda has been quite the journey. It wasn't an overnight thing. I learned about Ayurveda about 10 years ago, and when I first started reading it, it didn't make any sense. I was so confused. So I thought, well, I need more information. So I kept reading and reading and reading, and there wasn't as much available then. So I had to kind of hunt for it and seek it out. And I started to get just glimmers of understanding, but I would try to implement them, and it was hard. I would try to do things, and I tended to be very intense in it. And so I would try to do all the things at once. And so I would stop doing anything. And I found that I had to gradually move into that flow. And I kept studying and reading more. And then I started writing about Ayurveda and I started teaching other people. That's when it became real for me and I was able to implement it. But taking this wealth of information, this body of knowledge about Ayurveda that's 5,000 years old, and disseminating it in a way that makes sense today has been tricky. And what's been great is as I've experimented and I've practiced and I have figured out what does and doesn't work and how to explain it in a way that makes sense and how to implement it in a way that works with our busy lives has been so rewarding. And that's the way I've learned the most, how to take big information, make it small, and make it make sense. And you don't practice Ayurveda necessarily the same way that they did 5,000 years ago. Our society is different, our world is very different, but the principles remain true. And we can take those principles and figure out ways to make them work in our everyday life, and they can fit in so seamlessly. So when I was studying Ayurveda most heavily, I was also going to another school to study massage therapy. I wanted to have a little bit more holistic understanding of the human body. And so as I was studying this and I was studying Ayurveda and I was busy, that is what got me through this year and a half of education when I was so stressed and getting not enough Ayurvedic level of sleep. And I was trying to manage what I was eating to keep me most balanced. I was still practicing yoga. I was still teaching yoga. And I was finding that the more I could stay immersed in my Ayurvedic lifestyle and keep myself balanced, that helped me the most. And it wasn't always easy. There were days that I went completely off the grid and was not living Ayurvedically, and I experienced the aftermath afterwards. But I also know that I could never have made it through that really difficult time in my life if I hadn't had the supportive understanding of Ayurveda and also that non-judgment, right? You can mess up and then try again. You could kind of fall off the wagon and try again. You could implement this habit and have it be great and then maybe not be so good at another Ayurvedic habit, but you found that they built on each other. It was a really supportive community that was being created by living Ayurveda. So it definitely helps you to study it, but you have to find a way to implement it. And that's what we have done at the Ayurveda Life School, is help you take all this information and apply it into your life right now so that you can live it without having to change your whole life, but then let Ayurveda change your whole life as you live it.